Everybody, Seth Keep it real, Alan Urazar, the Ninja. How is everybody doing today? Thank you for your patience. We just went through those surveys you guys filled out. We got a ton of them. Thank you. And we wanted to go through those first to understand better so we can tackle this big challenge. So great to see you guys. Why do I feel like this is going to be one of the rare days that Seth actually drinks coffee? I've been drinking tea. I had no coffee. I did have coffee on the weekend. But yeah, last night my phone was blowing up. Then this one was like, oh my goodness. And I started feeling really stressed. Like, oh shoot, what do we do? So we want to help you guys, and thank you guys for helping us, really helping with that survey, because we want to figure out what's going on and we want to address this and help as much as we can. So Alan's going to share a slideshow. We're going to walk through that first. There's some key points. I just want to make sure everyone understands sort of as a foundation. And then we're going to talk through a strategy to help counteract this, because this has been really frustrating for many of you. And I am so sorry that I know how you feel, because it's happened to me as well. It's happened to many of our coaches. It's happening to people outside of Just One Dime. If you go into any of those Facebook groups, everyone's talking about it. The question is, what can we do to mitigate that? How much of it has to do with JOD people reviewing JOD stuff? And that's my biggest concern. So we're going to jump into that today. And then feel free to ask questions as you go. We're at 100% focusing on product social proof, launches, reviews. That's what we're talking about today, so we can address this as much as possible. All right. Well, great to see everybody. Hope you guys are doing good. Even though this is not the most fun topic, because I know a lot of people are really frustrated, at least we can help, and we'll do the best that we can. So, Alan, you ready, brother?
Sounds good, man. Let me share my screen real quick.
Awesome.
Remember that you have to click on the thumbnail so it sticks on the screen.
And it's there. Okay.
All right.
Our goal, you guys, is to understand what does it take to get reviews to stick. No one has the ultimate answer, but we do have a lot of data now that we can use to help. So first of all, understand that on average, when you're selling on Amazon, you're going to get one organic review for every 50 to 70 sales. That will vary, depend on how good you are at getting reviews in non-incentivized ways, based on your product insert, your follow-up email, how you interact with the customer, and it'll be affected by the product category. Some products that are cheaper in price, they don't tend to get as many reviews because, like, who cares? But if it's a bigger deal and they do a lot more research, you're going to get a higher percentage of reviews. But as a general rule of thumb, it's 50 to 70 sales per one organic review. Second thing to understand, a really good review is going to be short. It's not going to be long. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but if you go into great detail when you're leaving a review, that actually looks a little bit fake. Because most people, they don't have time to sit down and write a 3-page thing with a bunch of photos and a review. They're just like, hey, great product, works great. I really liked it, had one problem, but it was pretty good. That's a very honest, realistic review. But if you go on and on about all the great features and all the bullet points and everything, if you overdo it, that can be a red flag to Amazon. So understanding reviews. So 3 things. Social proof. And this is not the program product social proof. We're talking about social proof, people trusting your product to buy it. An estimated 65% of people or more read reviews before they decide to purchase a product. So obviously it's important. When you are ranking in the top 10 of search results, if your reviews are close in count to the competitors, in other words, they have 200, you have 150, another one has 70, another one has 80, another one has, like, they're all around the same range, your conversion rate will be significantly higher. That is why getting reviews matters a lot. However, getting reviews does not help you rank. And by ranking, I mean it doesn't help when someone types in the keyword for your product. Let's just say it was random mangoes sitting on Seth's desk because he likes to eat these. It's not going to cause your product to come up sooner because you had 500 reviews and your competitor had 10. That does not help you rank. It helps with conversion. So reviews help you convert, which as a result will help you rank. So in other words, if 100 people see these special mangoes, more of them are going to buy because it has a review. But that review doesn't make it show up sooner on the search results page. It just increases the number of people who will purchase it.
Yeah, and that's one of the things, Seth, that I always, when I talk to members, I always tell them, you have to do very good research at the beginning, because that's where you're going to find out, how many reviews you need for this product, or you start learning about your competition. And if you see that everybody has 200, 300, 500 reviews, even if you start ranking because you run a promotion and you sold 1,000 units the first 2 weeks, and you start ranking on that keyword, when the buyer sees your product and everybody has 200-300 reviews and you have 2 or 3,
right,
most people are going to go and click on the first products, on the products that have more reviews first, because they want to read the reviews, and
right,
they might end up just buying that product at the end.
yep.
But I think that all that has to do a lot with the research.
You're 100% true. And people compare. Everyone, when they buy, they compare. So if all of your competitors have 5 reviews and they're selling really well, and yours has 3 or 4, you have a great chance.
Yeah.
If they all have 5,000 and yours has 3 or 4, you don't have a great chance. So this is where reviews really matter. Okay, so step 1, strategy moving forward. Now, before we move forward, I want to share a couple. Well, I'll share it as we go.
Okay.
So here are thoughts, guys, so far. And we also have some future plans as well, which we're excited about. 2 important ratios you need to understand, okay? There is a seller ratio and there's a buyer ratio. Seller ratio, for example, would mean out of 10 purchases per 1 review. That's a dangerous ratio. If you just launched a product and all your purchases are just for a review, Amazon appears to be flagging that. Even though sometimes, and I know for some of you, Amazon removed reviews that had nothing to do with the launch. You never even launched in Just One Dime. You're not friends on Facebook with people in Just One Dime, but they still remove them. Amazon's not going to get it right every time. But what we are seeing, and some of you saw this with your competitors, when all of a sudden a bunch of reviews come out and all your purchases turn into a review, or a majority of them, that ratio is dangerous. And that is most likely, we don't know this for sure, why Amazon came in one big fell swoop and just said, clear house, number 1. And so we have a response to that. Number 2, the buyer ratio example. The buyer ratio is if you are purchasing products and reviewing them for Just One Dime members, on the start section, on the left side where it talks about participating in launches, it says, make sure that at least 70% of your purchases on Amazon are for normal purchases. Like, hey, I need to buy some mangoes. Let's buy them on Amazon instead of going to Trader Joe's. What will happen is that buyer ratio will help to not risk your buyer account. Now, currently, and again, thank you for your honesty. This is not a reprimand at all. I love you guys. Thank you, because it helps us to fix this. Well, as much as we can, we need your help though to fix it. Half, as a general thumb, for you guys who are buying products, half of your purchases, not for each of you, but as a general rule, this is a percentage, half of them are product launches, half of them are for your own personal needs. That's a dangerous ratio. That's why the course says in the start section, make it a 70-30. I know one guy, he posted in the Facebook group, he said, for every 3 products I buy, at least 2 of them are for personal needs. 1 of them is a job launch. None of his reviews were removed. So if you're helping members, it's really important, buyers, that you understand if you are doing a whole bunch of purchases on product social proof, but you're at least 70% of your total purchases aren't for your own personal needs, you're putting the seller at risk. Okay? This is really, really important. And this is where we're seeing a pattern, 2 patterns. So let me go back again. Seller, here's what you need to understand. If you launch a product and all your purchases are for launches, for reviews, and that's it, and you're not running PPC, you're not getting organic reviews, there's a high chance Amazon's going to remove them. Okay, number 1. Number 2, and guys, this didn't used to be the case. Amazon changes constantly. That's why we constantly go in and battle and try to find new, better ways of doing things. Number 2, if you are a buyer, please do not help, because you won't help them. Don't buy products on product social proof or on the launch page at all, unless it's only 30% of your total buys. So far, we haven't seen that close an account. Now, could it still happen? It could, but to our knowledge, it hasn't. These are 2 very important ratios. And let me add to that, product social proof is irrelevant, okay? What's relevant is is Amazon finding any kind of crossover review. It doesn't matter if you did it through product social proof or the launch page. Product social proof is just software. It's like, imagine this is a notepad, okay? and I wrote, here are my tasks for today. This notepad has no impact or power to affect what I do today. That's what Product Social Proof. It's just, and it scrambles IP, so you don't have to worry about the IP address. Product Social Proof is just software to organize it for you. That's all it is, and to provide reimbursements to save you time. This isn't a Product Social Proof issue. This is a just one dime warrior issue, okay? So it doesn't matter if you do it through Product Social Proof or the launch page. That has no bearing. What the question is, are these ratios being protected, okay? This is really, really important. Okay, I'm going to jump in and answer a few questions. And thank you guys for asking your questions.
Sure.
All right. Do you think we should register as Amazon personal reviewers? So, no, I don't. And if you're referring to the program, there's a very, very high, like a very high standard you have to get through to get to it. I personally don't think it's worth your time. And I think it could raise a red flag. And again, this is my opinion. Kiwi, I've never done it before in my life. Okay. I've never done it. So I'm only speaking as an outsider. I don't think that's going to help or change anything. Please put a banner saying this on the PSP site. I agree, Lucas. And we have an even better solution for that too, because it's not fair to a seller. It puts you at risk. I totally get that. Like we had some people buying a ton of products like it was Christmas morning. Like, no, you can't do that, you guys. All these free products, I love them. It's not fair for the seller because they just lost a ton of money, which, go ahead, Alan, go for it.
Yeah, and I was going to say on that point, I remember like maybe 5 or 6, 7 months ago that when I started buying a lot of reviews and I started giving reviews, I got shut down, really fast. Yeah. So I couldn't leave a review for like 2.5 months.
Yeah.
But I kept buying my personal products and I kept reviewing personal products. I'm sorry, I kept buying personal products, and then when I got my privileges back, I started just reviewing everything, and I haven't had any issues reviewing products and my reviews keeping my reviews. And I even get invitations from Amazon, to become a reviewer, because I review everything that I purchase, and they're just, I just give them my honest review on the product. But that ratio is very important, because if Amazon sees that you leave reviews for all of your products, they don't know if one product is going to be for a launch or for PSP. They just see that you're leaving reviews. But if they see that you've never you purchased 100 products in the last 3 months, and all of a sudden you want to leave reviews for 10 products, that's when you get in trouble.
It's not natural, exactly. And to answer Larry's question, is it possible that Amazon recognizes the name of buyers who buy from each other? I don't believe. I don't know. And in the course, in the start section, there's a section, guys, that says, here's how you can hide your public buyer activity. So someone can't walk up to a listing and say, oh, all the same people reviewed this product, review this one, review this one. So make sure if you guys are buying that you did that. It's in the start section. We put it in there for you, so please make sure you do that, okay? The other thing is, Larry, I don't think it has I don't think it has anything to do with the connection of each other, buying each other's products. I don't. I think it's the ratio. And again, that's based on the data. We had close to 100 surveys filled out. Thank you, guys. And I went through all the data before this, and I can tell you here's what's interesting. Those of you guys who have a lot of purchases already had hardly any, if 1 or 2 reviews removed. But think about this. If I have a product and it has like, 13,000 purchases over the last, few months, or even just 500, very few reviews were removed. Here's the danger. If you launched a product and the only purchases you got, or the majority, were for a launch, and those also got reviews, you probably got nailed. And I am so sorry about that. That's the problem, you guys, okay? And this information is super helpful. So those of you guys who've been doing this longer, way less risk. Those of you who just started, there's a risk here. And again, for the buyer, it's really important that you mix it up, just like a natural buyer would do. That's why we put that in the course, okay? Let me go back down. I think there's another question. Okay, so the 30-70 ratio, is that per week, month, or year? Now, DJ, keep in mind, this is based on data we have, okay? This isn't from Amazon. This is based on what we know. I'm doing it based on a month. I'm doing it over a month. Rodney says, can we go over product social proof? Yes, we're going to do that. Is that cool? Can you go through a little bit, sharing your screen at the end of this, Alan?
Sure, we can do that.
Okay. Do you think, Dash says, do you think purchasing product through just one link could be the reason of a flag? I do not believe so at all. I haven't seen that pattern. KitKat says, I submitted a super URL to PSP for my launch. Could it be a factor? Can I delete it? I don't think that's an issue. And the reason I say that is I and many of the sellers use that super URL link, and it has not caused us any issues. Okay, cool. Thank you, Craig. I'm going to check that out, brother. Amal says, can we avoid the seller ratio of 10 purchases per one review when using PSP? You can, and we're going to show you an idea we have for this, you guys, because this is hard. This is difficult, okay? I lost sleep over this last night, but we want to help you. So yes, and we're going to share that in a minute.
And you guys know, when you click on the purchase a product, Amazon is going to see that the traffic is coming from your own IP. It doesn't see that the traffic is coming from our IP. That's the way we have it set up. So, you know, it shows that it's coming from your house,
right?
From your computer.
Right. Exactly. Dash says, is it not wise to use multiple URLs for purchase and randomize those URLs? You could do that, but again, I don't think that's the issue. I think the issue is if you have 100 purchases on your product and even 70, even half of them turn into reviews, there's a strong chance those reviews are going to be gone. Now, again, to be fair, some of you guys had reviews removed and you didn't do a launch. You're like, what's going on? Yeah. Amazon does this. They don't have time for someone to sit down and look at your account. Let's evaluate, right? Unless there's some big issue. They use bots to do this, and they're sweeping. And sometimes when they're cleaning the street, some of the innocent get cleaned as well with it, okay? So just keep that in mind. It's going to happen to a degree. Our goal is this. I can't control what Amazon does. You can't. But let's mitigate that as much as possible. And we have some ideas for how to do this as well. You want to go on to the next slide, brother?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. Okay, so here is a proposal, and this is not final. We have more ideas on this too, is fixing the seller ratio problem. You guys are aware of the skeleton launch. We've had some people where not the skeleton launch, a skeleton hack, where this is very effective, sometimes almost too effective because you lose your inventory really, really fast because it sells out. So we have an idea. If you create a skeleton listing and you just get 3 reviews, just 3. And I noticed Mark and Kelsey, or a few of you guys, you were super picky. You went and talked to each buyer and said, look, I'm going to talk to you. Tell me what percentage of your products do you buy are bought on Amazon naturally for yourself versus product launch, okay? And they said, no, our percentage is really good. A small percentage for, okay, I want you to buy my product. So in other words, if you mainly go out and just find 3 people and interview them, I know this is painstakingly long, but I'm telling you it's worth it, and get one of them to do a video review. That's a much safer way. Just 3 5-star reviews. One of them is a video. Good reviews. Short, simple, to the point, and the video is not professional, okay? It shouldn't be. Then you optimize your listing. This is the boost hack, the skeleton hack. Then you start your PPC immediately. Your goal is with those 3 reviews, and I'm telling you guys, 3 reviews has more power than you think, okay? If I get 3 reviews, and if I get 30 reviews, okay, 3 and 30, my listing did not just become 10 times more convertible. Maybe 15% more, but not 10 times. Because reviews, the more you get, the less power they have. The first few are the most important. Many advanced Amazon sellers, they just get 5. That's all they want is 5. And because they differentiated so well, it still sells just fine. So your goal is just get 3, optimize your listing, start your PPC so you start getting organic sales, and then let reviews slowly come in. Now, once you get to that point, you could literally go out and say, hey, I'm going to have a goal to just get 1 review a week. Okay, I'm selling this 10 times a day, 1 review a week. That's not a terrible ratio. So I'm going to go out and individually ask a few people, would you review this product? Okay, it's much slower. It's much more organic. And in my opinion, in Alan's opinion, it is much safer. Instead of saying, well, I'm going to get 400 reviews. Okay, that's dramatic. But, 50 reviews on there before you have any organic purchases. Amazon is removing those reviews, and that's creating a real frustration for Amazon sellers. Anything you want to add to that, Alan?
No, I think most people associate getting reviews with ranking, and we just want to make sure that the reviews are going to be for social proof, And once you have the reviews, because you want to have at least, a few reviews once you start doing your promotion, so you can, start getting sales.
Right. And there's a couple people who asked about this. T. Verde says, does this mean the launch strategy needs to be adjusted, meaning we need to dress up our product listing with all the best images, all the bullet points, and full description from the start? No, not at all. So you're not changing the launch strategy when it comes to the boost hack, or what some people call the skeleton hack. You're not changing that. The only difference, T. Verde, is you're going to get 3 reviews and then you fill it out. Just 3, okay? Instead of getting 25, all right? That's what we're saying. And Brittany says, if your Facebook groups are public, let me go down, could Amazon be tracking and tying job members together that way? I haven't seen it. I have not seen that at all, and I don't think so. Esther says, it may be a stretch, but there is talk about Amazon employees joining groups like ours. Yep. Isn't it also possible that there's someone who joined and simply learning product info from PSP or Facebook? Very possible, Esther. It could happen. The thing is, though, if that's happening, it should be consistently removing everyone's reviews. And there's a large number of people on our team who didn't have any reviews removed. See what I mean? And that's why we think this is a bot, not an individual. If it's an individual, you'd think they'd clean house and be really specific and intentional. It seems a little bit too random to be that. Otherwise, it'd be very easy. And that always could happen. There's always that risk. That's why this is under a completely different company, not even under Just One Dime. Lucas says, how long skeleton, how many days? It doesn't matter, Lucas. You just do it long enough till you get your reviews and you're ready to go. What matters is that your listing goes from skinny to filled out. So it tricks Amazon's system into thinking it's a brand new product, and that pushes your ranking faster. See what I mean? What matters is that you're just ready to do it when the time is. It could be one day. It could be, 30 days. Hopefully not 30, though. Does a skeleton listing have all the keywords in the back end? It does not, KitKat. It has nothing but a title, a bullet point, and an ugly photo, and that's it. Awesome. Ima. DJ says, I don't think Amazon would pay the fee to become a member. I think they target the free groups first. You're probably right, DJ. Jeff says, so would it be better to save PSP launch for later once a product is established? Yes, 100% true. I agree, Jeff, and we have some ideas on that as well we want to share with you guys, which I'm really, really excited about. Jiyoung says, so far I haven't lost a single review. I guess my product does not have a strong demand or desirability. So I had a hard time getting people to help support my campaign. Well, I'm glad that worked out well for you, Jiyoung. Over the course of 3 months, I got only 19 reviews from the Jod family. So you say only, Jiyoung, and I mean, 19 is significant. It's so hard to get a review that sticks today anyways. Like that's not bad. And I'm glad it protected you from getting them all removed. Could there be a link in fast growth and the reviews getting removed? Could there be a link in fast growth? Yes, if it's, well, again, I think it goes back to the number of purchases ratio to the reviews. I do think that it's the ratio. So I do think it's the ratio from 400 sales. I only have 20 reviews, which 19 of them are from Jod. There you go. Yep, that totally, all the evidence, you guys, is supporting the ratio theory, okay? Lucas says, there's a theory that the first 14 days, if you were to pump your sales, Amazon will favor you going forward. First 14 days important for sales. You are 100% true. That theory is out there. I believe in that theory, and that is a perfect lead into something else we're going to share with you in a minute. First, let me go back to this, fixing the buyer ratio problem. We're going to limit PSP so that all buyers can only do 1 product per week. That'll just really control the craziness, okay? So if you're a buyer, if you're in there because you want a lot of free products, that's going to mess up sellers. The whole point is to help the seller, okay? I don't care about the product, right? I don't care about the mangoes. I just want to see them succeed so they can also help me. That's all. That's the only reason we do this. This is not, free Christmas gift or something like that. So 1 product per week on PSP. That'll really control it. It's not going to fix it, but it'll help. Second, buyers. This is impossible for me to control or any coaches, but I'm asking you, please. 70% of all your Amazon purchases are non-launch purchases. Otherwise, when you participate in this, you're putting them at risk. Ultimately, that puts you at risk, puts Just One Dime at risk, puts the world, maybe not the world at risk. I'll stop there.
The whole world.
Yeah. Would buying a Jod member's product via a sponsored ad link reduce risk of it being flagged by Amazon? I don't know. I don't know if Amazon, when they look at the algorithms, if they care whether or not it was organic or sponsored. Did they put that in there? Because that would make logical sense, right? I wish I would know, and that's a great question, Matt. Lucas says, all of this effort and planning puts a lot more emphasis on great product photography. Thank you. You were 100% correct, brother. Guys, listen, there are products that I have launched that had 0 reviews day one. There are other products that only started with 5 reviews. I think we really need to bring the reviews down to protect you and bring the photography excellence up, because they don't just look at the reviews. The number one thing that determines if I will buy your product is not your reviews, especially if you already have just a few. It's your photo. So make your photo excellent. It's better to spend $500 on a badass one photo than to spend $500 on a launch and lose those reviews, especially when they have less converting power than a photo. You see what I mean, guys? 100% agreed, Lucas, and thank you for mentioning that. Okay, so a couple more things I want to share with you guys. Is the next slide the last one, Alan?
Yeah.
Don't remember. Okay, all right, one more thing. Okay, Alan, are you cool if we share this idea about the ranking?
Yeah.
Okay, I think you guys will be excited about this. This is actually Alan's, I think it's Alan's idea actually, or I forget who, it doesn't matter. Tell me what you think of this, you guys, and I'm really excited about this. What if we change product social proof and let's just forget about reviews for a minute, okay? You can still get reviews. You can. I have people from the old reviewer list. I just call them up like, look, do you mind buying this for me? Like, you can do it. You just got to do a little hustle. What if you just said, look, I'm going to get just a handful of really good reviews, okay? And what if product social proof, instead of being about reviews, became like Viral Launch? As you know, Viral Launch is a ton of money. It's expensive. I think it's too expensive, even though it's a great program. So basically, and we can teach you this, you can figure out, we'll show you how many purchases you need of a product for a certain keyword over a 7 to 10 day period to rank on the first page. So you could turn it into a giveaway. Now, if some of those people who buy it, you later on the back end come around and say, hey, you know, Eric or Jill, do you mind reviewing that for me? You can do that, right? But on your own. We don't talk about it. We don't put it in there. We don't send you emails, nothing, right? So basically, you're doing giveaways or at a huge discount so people can buy it so you can get ranking. What if we took this framework that we've built and spent a lot of time and money on and turned it into something different to help you rank? In other words, the responsibility of getting the reviews is even less on some software. It's on you. You go out, you find them. You do it at your own risk. Some you may lose, some you gain. But what happens is your BSR now starts ranking really good, and your ranking for keywords start getting better and better and better because you're ranking, okay? In other words, there's two sides to this, guys. One is reviews, social proof. It's for conversion. The other is ranking. The more buys you get, the more it ranks. So if you want to get your product on the first page quickly, what if we use product social proof to do that? Like really, truly, openly, I'm wondering what you guys think. And I think this might remove a lot of risk for us, Just One Dime, coaches, Alan, but it also might remove risk for you and help you to take a little more time to be, you know, instead of taking the shoot from the hip approach, the more sniper approach, real specifically, I'm going to get a few people to review this for me. And if you want, you could still go back to the people who bought it and ask for reviews if you're selling really well. In other words, put a little more of that ownership on you. And what we can do is help create a platform that ranks. And then you save a ton of money instead of paying these ridiculous prices through Viral Launch. I would love to know what you guys' thoughts are. Do you guys think I'm crazy? Do you think this is a good idea? What are your thoughts, guys? Because I know the review thing is frustrating. All right, I'm looking and I'm hearing yes, yes. I don't understand how Viral Launch works. So PJ, basically what it does is it just allows you to get people. So let's say I'm selling these mangoes, okay? I'm selling mangoes. And I want to get them on the first page and they're not for a keyword. So if you PJ were to type in, you know, just mango slices on Amazon, I want this to show up on the first page. The only way to do that is to get a bunch of buys. That's how it ranks. All right. That's what drops BSR. But to do it based on a keyword, not just a BSR for its category, but a keyword. So if you were able to have the knowledge, and we can show you how to do this, it is very simple. Okay. You need to sell this many per day for this period of time to potentially get on the first page of search results. Like, okay, so what you do is you go to product social proof. We probably call it something different. And you drop in and you say, okay, I'm going to give away, you know, 50 or 20, whatever, 100 of these over this period of time. And the buyers can buy it at 90% to 100% discount. So that ranks it. And now all of a sudden your product is showing up on the first page. And if you did a good job on making it convertible, and you know that based on your PPC ads, once it's there, it stays there. So when you stop getting all those buys, it doesn't drop down again. Is a bunch of buys on your product to get it ranking for a particular keyword you want to compete for. If we provide the structure for that, wow, you know, like it would make it so much easier, and we'll tie it in with, you know, the coaching. Go ahead, Alan.
No, I was gonna say that a few people is asking about if we do that approach, will we be doing it only with the Just One Dime members? And I think we haven't really decided which strategy we will use, but we'll be able to open it up to more people.
Yeah, and guys, it's not against terms, so there's no red flag. Absolutely, we could open it up. But what we would do, guys, is because you're members, you would always get privileges. You know, I haven't even thought about would we charge for it, or maybe for your first launch it's free. Part 25 if you want to do more. There's like, I think, is it $4.99 currently? I forget what it is. No longer for the buyer. And we've messed with that. And guys, thank you for being patient. We're figuring this out. So please show us grace. We're trying to make this work in a way that makes sense. But most certainly it would be a huge advantage for you. I can guarantee you it wouldn't be anything like the cost of our launch, right? And maybe like per product or per purchase, you get like the first 50 are completely free. Or, you know, if it's a more expensive bundle program, you get it all free forever. I don't know, or for lifetime members. In other words, we could open it up to the world, and there's no red flag against it currently. Now, obviously, Amazon, they might come around 2 weeks later and say, hey, guys, it's a new rule. You can't do that. And guess what we're going to do? We're going to hustle, and we're going to go back, and we're going to figure it out like we have to do every time. That's why I love the coaches I work with, you guys. You didn't buy a freaking course. Oh, goodbye. See you later. You bought people, like time, constantly changing, adjusting, trying to hustle to make this work, because Amazon is not static. And that's what's so important. Okay, there's a bunch of questions here, Alan. Yeah. I'm going to just scroll up so I can catch them all. Okay, I'm going all the way back to Matt, Lucas, about photography. No problem, Craig. Thanks for doing this, Ethan Allen. Absolutely. Thank you, brother. I really appreciate that support, man. Esther says, puts the whole world at risk. Haha, that sounded like the kind of thing a dad says to his kids. If that's a point. Yes, you know it, Esther. Anyway, to do an interview with an Amazon rep where we can ask all the questions we want within reason, or would that create a red flag for the group? DJ, I would get like a friend of someone to do it who doesn't even sell on Amazon. That's what I would do. And remember, DJ, the challenge with Amazon, in all respect to them, when I call Amazon support, and this is true for 90% of people in our group, we know more than they do. Like it's crazy. They're just not educated very well. And that's why you have to keep going back and back until finally you get someone who knows what they're talking about, because they have the power to do something, but they don't have the knowledge to know what to do. You know, that's the risk there. Esther says, this is exactly what I hoped for, that PSP would have been from day one. Well, Esther, thank you for being patient, for waiting for us to come around. Russell Tanner suggested this in the group a while back. Yep, well, I think he was probably right then, Matt, assuming that we do this. Okay, cool. I'm looking. It's pretty much everyone sounds like it says it's a good idea. Okay, let me read Parth Patel says, I like it. I used Viral Launch, and it helped greatly on my first product. It is very expensive, though. 100% agreed. Having a cheaper version would help Jod members and maybe even allow Jod to make money outside the group. True, absolutely. It would be a very wise use of cash flow. The challenge is we have to get a lot of buyers to make that work. You know, Viral Launch uses a whole different website, completely different deals where people log in to become buyers, and you need thousands to make that work. Otherwise, you're going to start a campaign like, I got 3 sales, I need 30 a day. You know what I mean? So we'll have to build it up like crazy. Products are not
we were talking about what 6-7 months ago about Just One Dime Marketplace. Yes. That was the original idea, and then we kind of went to PSP.
Yeah.
Because of the need that we saw in the group about reviews. But we've been talking about we call it Marketplace. I don't even know if that's the final name, but we were calling it Marketplace at the beginning. That was the whole idea at the beginning. But we'll get to that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad that you guys like the idea. I think it makes sense for everyone. And again, I want to emphasize earlier, please, please don't put so much hope in reviews that you treat it like the most important thing. It's not. It's important. You need some on there. More important is that first photo. So just try to temper that, you know, and over time you will gain those more and more. And you know what's cool? Once you're selling a ton, you can get a ton. Once you're selling tons a day, you can go out and get a lot more reviews, and there's no issue because the ratio is good. Your problem now is, how do I get more people to do reviews instead of, whoa, I have too many reviews for the ratio, and then I'm going to get flagged. I'm going to keep going. Ivan says, as long as we have enough members and purchasing power to make this idea feasible, you're 100% right, Ivan. Probably product social proof will need to be opened up to buyers from outside JOD. Exactly. I 100% agree. Is this the same or different from Helium-10 CPR? No, it is not the same. No, it's not the same. Larry says, so I get a JOD member to buy my product at full price, and then I reimburse them 100% via PayPal. So if you're referring to the new launch system we're talking about, no, you would actually do a coupon code. You would create it in Seller Central. You would create one, and you would decide how many it will work for, so it can be repetitively used. And then say you wanted 20 buys that day, Larry. 20 people come along and say, oh, I can buy it. They use the code, and they get the 100% or 90% discount on each purchase. So you wouldn't do any back-end PayPal stuff. You can be very open about this because it's not a TOS issue. How about rebate key? Use a rebate site. People purchase full price. You can then send them a check via PayPal. Then I'm open to it. If JOD was to facilitate that, that's a lot of back-end stuff, and I want to keep it as simple and streamlined as possible, Lucas, but I'm open. Maybe we can take our credits that we currently have could apply. Absolutely, PJ, and I'm totally fine with that. Good idea, however, once you want to launch and use it as viral launch, PSP guarantee the amount of coupons delivered a day. Sometimes viral launch or SoNGM are not delivering you coupon the way you said. I know. And that issue goes back to, am I getting enough people to do it? You like it, Lucas? Cool, man. Jiyoung says, I think the idea of choose to leave reviews limited. I agree. Like how video review option is currently set up. It will help save time getting the few review. Totally agree. Like it gives them the option, right? And but we don't require it. So there's not like, oh, you don't get your reimbursement if you don't leave a review. Then it's totally safe, guys. And we can be big time public about this no matter what. Then people outside Just One Dime, we can talk about it. Yeah, you can do it. But if you join Just One Dime, it's a lot less expensive. Or, you know, the first launch or something is free. Thank you, PJ. I appreciate it. I'm looking. Buying people is frowned upon. Yeah, I probably said the wrong thing. At least I was referring to us being bought. That was a terrible words of mine. It totally makes sense, says T. Verde. The platform already has foundation in place. If not for reviews, we can use it to rank products. Right. Really appreciate you guys are vigorously trying to fix this. Much respect. Thank you. I really appreciate it, brother. Is there any information on viral launch for newbies? Yes, David did an awesome video on it. If you just search viral launch in the Facebook group, it'll come up for you, Amal. You like it, Len Ying? Okay. The good thing is that if you needed a large number of participants, says Esther, you already have a large community of people who would pitch it to their friends and family. Right. And the nice thing is you don't have to worry about our connection online. Who cares if we're friends? It doesn't matter. Let's talk about it. You can be super bold about this because there's zero gray hat hacking going on. Plus the benefit is that coupon codes. Exactly. You can send the code through advertising and Facebook, social media. This is true, PJ. Absolutely. It is a good idea if the sellers provide short tail keyword or long tail keyword so buyer can look on Amazon.com that way. That's a very good idea. So actually, you're right, Tawfiq. Alan, we could do the super URL with this.
Yeah.
Every single time. So you're getting double, like not only getting a bunch of buys, but we're specifically getting rank power for that specific keyword. I love that. I like the idea of the first launch being free as it helps not only the members getting a boost, but it's a great selling point. That makes sense, DJ. Then it's not like, oh, I joined a program, now I got to spend more money, right? Your first launch is free. Then if you want to use it in the future, you can, but it's not nearly as expensive as the competition. Okay. Just remember, don't talk about fight where you're close. Okay. Do you create a one-time use coupon and provide it to PSP members or a coupon that is visible on Amazon to everyone? So Ema, you can do it many ways. Seller Central is super, super easy. What's the right word? Customizable when it comes to coupons. You create one coupon. You limit how many people, how many times the coupon can be used. And you also make it so that only one buyer account can use it once. So I can't come along and reuse the coupon 20 times. It has to be 20 different people. And you are very careful where you put that coupon. So you put it in this case, in the system, so buyers buy it. And the key is, guys, you need a number of sales per day, right, in order to rank for that keyword with the super URL link. Let's see. Matt says, what if we receive a review from a coupon purchase? Is this a flag? So it will happen, Matt. It is a flag if it happens a lot, and there's a strong probability it gets removed. It's happened to me. We have done our own launches. Me and Kim have done our own launches. Just we set them up. We get a bunch of people. It's a lot of hustle in the back end. And we'll just say, okay, guys, can you all buy during this time? And someone decides to come along in the goodness of their heart, don't do it, and they do a flag. And yes, that is definitely a red flag. But the worst I've seen is the review gets removed. I've never seen an account suspended, because here's the thing. Amazon can't control, if I got a product at a discount, I could still review it innocently. I didn't do it for that reason, see? So I wouldn't worry about it. It's pretty rare. Zone Jump is better than Viral Launch based on the opinion of some of the highest grossing sellers I've been watching. That's really interesting, Lucas. I'd love to hear more about that, man. I've never used them. Cool. All right, guys. I hope this has been really encouraging to you. Again, I am so sorry that some of your reviews were just wiped out. And those of you guys who didn't, you're lucky. I think this new focus is going to help. So, Alan, just to recap, moving forward, one purchase per person per week if you're a buyer in Product Social Proof.
Yeah.
Make sure 70% of your Amazon purchases are not for a launch. Please, guys, don't put your fellow warrior at risk, okay? And then third, just get 3 reviews when you launch a product. Literally, just get 3. Don't even do it in Product Social Proof. If you have to step away for a while, that's fine, guys. If you have credits that you don't want to use now because of this, we can absolutely apply them to the future software, but you'll have to be patient. Please be patient with us. Yep, thank you. Absolutely, Esther. I appreciate it. Okay. Anything else, Alan, do you want to add, brother, before we wrap this up, man?
No, I think that gives us a lot of information to, to think about the different ways that we can approach these, these changes, and we'll just get to work.
Okay, let's do it. All right, guys. So we are going to go back to the drawing board. We will be working hard. Again, be patient. In the meantime, please, guys, okay? And we will also update the launch section to include all of this data as well, so it's super, super clear. All right, guys? Okay, cool. All right, guys, have an awesome day. Thank you, Alan.
Thank you, man.
All right, see you, brother.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.